Alrighty, pal. Why don't you take a seat on Papa E's lap? Because I know lately things have been a little bit difficult for you. I mean, your wife's left you, you're in crippling gambling debt, but more importantly, it's Q4. It's the most profitable time of the year for dropshippers, and yet your results still look like this, where you've been testing multiple products at a time for weeks, maybe even months, with ads and websites that you truly believe in and you put a lot of effort into. And while you may be driving a little bit of traffic, your conversion rate is still in the dumps and you're getting high CPMs and your ads are just not clicking for whatever reason. So you might be coping a little bit right now thinking, okay, what can I do differently? Which isn't the wrong approach, but you're probably blaming the wrong variables and thinking,
maybe it's the new Andromeda update. I mean, that's what everyone on YouTube is teaching right now.
And just to save you 3 hours of watching the same video with a different title, what everyone is going to teach you is that you should do a CBO and put all of your creatives inside. Whoop-de-freaking-do. Is that the real reason why you're testing products and throwing money and it's just not working? No. It's truly because you are fundamentally not focusing and neglecting two core pillars that actually make a difference. And these pillars are things that nobody is going to teach you on YouTube because it's not flashy. It's not a new AI update or little strategy with prompts that you can copy and paste and download. This is the nerdy, boring shit that nobody is going to teach you, nobody focuses on, because it's the fundamentals. It's the basics that if you get elite at, you can go from results of making a sale a month, and let's be honest, spending $500 to $1,000 to get that sale, to a few months later, scaling to over $200,000 a month. Now, this is my student Ivo who was able to do this. He was a complete beginner at dropshipping at the start of this year and is now doing over $200,000 a month because of the two key pillars I'm going to teach you in this video. Now, one of these changes is going to be on the website, and one of these is going to be on the ads because, let's be honest, those are the only things that really matter. But getting into things, when we look at a website, your product page, I want you to tell me what you think is the most important part. Because you could have the right copy to the right avatar, have all these images, make it look super branded, have an authority figure like a doctor. You can have all these things absolutely nailed down. But if there's one thing you're missing, then your conversion rate is going to stay at 1% or 0.5%, and you are never going to be profitable. And that's realizing that if you look at any heat map software, like Hotjar, for instance, 100% of people that land on your website will see the above the fold section. And then just scrolling down to your first section, like this love by thousands, guess how big that drop off is? If we scroll on down, half of your audience is going to drop off. Which means if we're smart, the hook of our product page, the funnel of our product page needs to be this above the fold section. We need to optimize this like our life depends on it and nobody else is going to scroll on down, which means our funnel, we need to convince someone to buy our product and know all the information about our product in this section alone. Yet when you build your product pages with this above the fold section, you completely neglect it. You don't think of it that way because you don't know the data. And that's why you were losing so many sales. So if we were to look at two product pages for the same exact product, let's take a look at the difference and how big it can be. So Current Body is selling this red light therapy face mask. And when I look at this above the fold section, this is it right here. I know nothing about the product. Nothing. We have all this empty space, which nobody needs. We don't need your menu here. I don't need this little quote here. I don't need all these masks. This tells me nothing. We have this just wasted space everywhere. And is that going to make me scroll on down to read the rest? No. Because this is all I see when I first load in. The first image tells me nothing. The second image is about features. I don't really give a about features. So how can we make this better? How can we tell our customer everything they need to know about our product just by staying on that above the fold section? Well, the first thing we need to focus on is the product images and having the right types of images. So when we look at the first 5 here, you need to have a hero image, which ideally is the benefits and a guarantee of your product. Now, SolarWave, I'll be honest, does not do a good job of doing that, but they do a good job of doing the other things. So if I was to look at Dermalift, my brand, reverse years of aging or your money back. We have a guarantee, we have social proof, and has seen on. This is a great hero image that tells you exactly what you're going to get if you buy my product. And it's a good hook to make you want to look at the rest of the product images, which in this case, boom, we have our bullet point benefits, calling out exactly how it's going to give you value. We have before and after, so we back up the claims we're making. We have more social proof in the form of text reviews. We have a product comparison because people are naturally going to say, why should I buy this compared to something else that might be cheaper, that might be the more common option? Well, we're going to break it down for them. And then, of course, for supplements, health products, you need to have an ingredients list. So you need to think strategically about your product images. And I know what you're thinking. Oh my God, that's so many images. I can't make all of those. If you're smart, you only have to do this once inside of Canva, and bada bing, bada boom, you'll have a template that you can use for every single product test. You don't have to do this every single time I'm making a completely different image. No, use templates, which you can get from using a creative.os. You can join my program where we have image ad templates for product pages and also image ads. But you should have a system where you have one template for each one of these. A hero image, benefit callout, use cases, which if you're wondering what use cases is, it's basically just mentioning here's where this product is useful for. So hey, helps reduce dullness, wrinkles, expression lines. So call out the use cases, how it actually works, or how to use. So in this case, we go back to SoloWave. God, that ugly website, gross. They have how to use, which basically we have this product right here, image, and then here we go. How to use it, place the device on your skin, enjoy a 10-minute device. Super simple. Product comparison, always need to have that. And then authority social proof and customer social proof, if you're wondering what that means. Authority social proof is usually some sort of survey. It's usually having a doctor quote. So as you can see right here, if we go to SoloWave, they have this doctor review right here. Beautiful. And then they also have a survey result. So if we go back here, I think it was one more. Yep, survey result. So this is an authority figure. And then normal social proof in terms of customers would be, yes, these before and afters or having quotes. But if you can do that one change alone, you'll be shocked. That could double, triple your conversion rate because you're strategically thinking, what is the sequence of images that someone needs to go through to know everything about my product? That one change alone can make a huge difference. And that's what helped Ivo go from his 0.6% conversion rate to now converting at 4.5%. But there was a few other little things we did on the above the fold because that's not the only parts of the above the fold section. So if we go down, the next part, bada bing, bada boom, is the right side. So as we can see, we have our images, but then the right side, this is all the text. This is the sub description. This is the bullet point benefits. We need to optimize this and again, give people everything they need to know about our product. So typically the best formats for doing this, I really like this brand right here where they have a branded product title. You don't want to have a generic name because if you have a generic name, people are typically just going to look up your product on Amazon and buy there. So make it seem like your product is branded. Otherwise, people won't think that you are the main seller of it. So have a branded product title, has social proof, which could be the 1.5 million. I love this, 726,000 customers. I do 4.8 out of 5, and this links directly to my customer review section, by the way. And then underneath, you can have bullet point benefits or a little sub-description. I personally, when selling problem-solving products, like to have a sub-description, usually which is 2 sentences. So I start with a question of identifying a problem. So in this case, struggling with the sagging neck skin and deep lines, and then how my product helps them with that specifically. If we look at SoloWave, they have social proof that visibly firms and smooths signs of aging, boosts results, and then we have the bullet point list right here. Now, when you're writing these bullet point benefits, actually make them benefits because a lot of people will just list out features right here. Oh, a new chin strap coverage, added deep near infrared wave. Why do I give a shit? So when you're writing your lines for bullet point benefits, ask yourself, okay, in this case, 104 additional LEDs. Why does that matter? How does that benefit me? That is the real benefit at the end of the day. So 104 additional LEDs, so you can do blank. So you can get rid of wrinkles faster in weeks, 45% faster than other treatments. That's why it matters. That's the line people want to read. So we go back to SoloWave, fewer fine lines and wrinkles, beautiful. That's an actual desire. Brighter skin, fewer dark spots. We look at my copy, soothe away fine lines, hydrate deeply with zero grease. And those are only the targeted benefits that you'll really figure out when you do the heavy research. So as a quick little checklist for you, this is what I think about on the right side: brand and product title, social proof, sub-description, which is optional, depends on the product, but you need to have your bullet point benefits. Of course, your offer, which we're going to talk about a little bit, and then some urgency. I do like to have some urgency. I love this one right here where it's the warning, low stock notice. I think that's so clutch. Looks beautiful, very believable as well. We sold out 12 times last year. That's a really good way of doing it. I sometimes do the only 7 units left in stock. So as you can see right here, this is a custom line of code. So if I go to my product page right here, this is inside my one-on-one program, by the way. So just a little bit of custom code, only 7 units left in stock. I can change it to 12 units. I can do urgent or about to sell out. So we split test, but I always like to have urgency here. And then also on my offer app, which if you're using Kaching, you can just change the headline title to blank sale ends soon, spring sale ends soon, something along those lines. Now, the final part of the above the fold, which we kind of already spoiled a little bit, is going to be Your offer, baby. We all know the offer makes a huge, huge difference in terms of conversion rate. This can be the thing that doubles or triples it easily. And if we just look at these two examples right here, this is the same product. This first offer is dog shit. It is literally just 60% off. There's no save badge. There's no other products I'm getting. It's just, okay, do I believe this product's worth $250? Probably not, because that's just a made up number you threw at me. But if I look at this brand right here, selling the exact same product, they have a value stack offer, which I love. So it's not just the product that you're getting. You're paying $40 more actually, but you get all these valuable free gifts. So let's just take a look at their website real quick. 28 Pilates. This brand does well over 500,000, probably $1 million a month at this point. And they have such a well optimized product page. So if we just take a look really, really quickly, God, get this crap off my screen. Yeah, we got strategy call, accessory bundles. And if you're wondering, how do I throw in these free gifts? Where do I get the ideas? Just look up your product on Amazon or your niche on Amazon, and you'll see multiple little free gifts like resistance bands, socks. Those cost literally like $2-3. Sweat belt, that's going to cost a little bit more, probably $5 to $10, but it just adds more value because it accelerates the results that your target audience wants, which in this case is to lose those calories faster. Now, in terms of offers that I really like, when you're first testing a product, I always split test multiple offers. So you can do a value stack, which is the one we just talked about. You can do a BOGO, and that's something you can set up easily inside of Kaching. I typically do the fake BOGO, where it's buy one pack for $20, and then you can buy one, get one free for the same price. Because it just basically does a price anchor. Because in the mind of my customer, they think, oh, the value of one is $20, but you can get two for also $20. So it just makes that deal a no freaking brainer. And then subscription/bundle, I do subscriptions inside of Kaching as well. But in terms of the value stack, I actually do this inside of Moon Bundle. Moon Bundle makes it really easy to throw in 4 free gifts. Super easy. In fact, you can see right here in gifts, I can just choose the product. So I just put the products in Shopify, the ones I want to add. So like a warranty or other products that basically help incentivize people to see the value of my offer. So little things like that, guys. Little things like that make a huge difference. And if you're enjoying this video so far, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, because I drop new bangers every single week of videos that will give you more value and actually teach you what works in this game. Even if it's a little nerdy, even if it's a little boring, this is the stuff that makes a difference. And it's not the usual crap you're going to hear from every other dropshipper that repeats the same few topics every week. And if you do want one-on-one support, we'll talk a little bit about that later on. It's the first link in the description. I do have a program where you can work directly with me and get feedback on your ads, your website, everything that you're doing. Because at the end of the day, that's what really matters in dropshipping, is getting feedback. It's having some expert that's a step ahead of you, telling you what you're doing right, but more importantly, what you're doing wrong and how you can fix it so you can get results just like my boy Ivo. But on the ad side of thing, what can you do differently to make your ads perform much better? I'm talking get those CPCs from $3 down to $1, to get those CPMs down from 100 to 30, to actually see profitable ROASs from day one of testing, which you may think is a myth. You may think it's impossible. It is very possible when you make these tweaks. And this is specifically what we did with Ivo. So the first thing that we noticed is that he was not testing with any images at all. He had tried in the past doing the typical standard image ad templates you'll see on like creative.os, the benefit images, the social proof images, but they weren't clicking. And obviously right now, there's a certain type of ad that is working really well on the image side, which can just dramatically lower your cost per clicks and has a great user experience, which is going to incentivize Facebook to lower your CPMs as well. So in terms of these native images, I know everyone's talked to you about it, but there's really 4 styles that I love. So we're going to break down the 4 styles so you actually properly know how to test with these. So the first one would be desired result. It's showing an image of what the desire is of your customer. What do they really want to look like, feel like, et cetera, et cetera. So in this case, we have a hair growth product. So we have a model who is older that has beautiful, luscious hair. And then we have a headline, which is social proof related. So science just found a new way to restore hair growth. Then this one, same thing. We have the problem right here, which I think you could probably just show the product instead. And then this is going viral. So it's social proof. It's that bandwagon effect that, oh, people over 45 or women over 55 are going crazy for this all natural hair solution. Simple as that. Now, the next style is also a bit of social proof, but this case it is the product image that is being emphasized here. So we have these foot patches, and then we have this Michelin star backed knife. So we have an image of your product accompanied with social proof of an authority figure. So in this case, we have an authority figure for these foot patches, which is a doctor. And then for this knife set, it is Michelin starred kitchen. So it's social proof. It's an authority figure that uses this product or has discovered it or has made it. So if you can try to apply that to your product. So if it's a knee brace, so this would be a doctor, it'd be a physician that has spent years that just discovered the new secret to healing your knees, to getting rid of arthritis in minutes, years, whatever it is, whatever that desire is. So I love that style. It looks very natural. if you do it with these types of headlines and that type of design. Now, there's two other styles I also really fuck with heavy. I'm not going to lie for you boys. And these two styles are going to be stuff that you're a little bit more familiar with, which is doing the image as a problem. So what is the problem that people are actually dealing with? And just shove that right in their face. So in this case, we can see right here, cracked feet. So we have an image of cracked feet that are just disgusting looking. I mean, I'm a toe lover and I still wouldn't even bother putting those in my mouth. Gross. I mean, you can kind of hear in my voice, I have a little bit of a sickness. I think a torta gave me COVID or something. I feel like my business ops just keep sending me gorgeous Latinas with BBLs that are toxic as hell to distract me from working on my business and give me COVID and get me sick so that I can't compete with them. But I'm on to them. I'm not going to fall for it the 12th time in a row, no matter how many times these tortas call me Poppy. But anyways, so you're doing a problem image and then you have a longer style ad copy where you're usually getting to a story or the daily frustration of what's going on. So usually it's a story from the first person perspective. So my daughter told me to never wear sandals again. And then it gets into a long thing about here's what I tried in the past, but then I got new hope because I went to a doctor, some authority figure that recommended me this product and it's changed my life. That's what it boils down to. Now, the other style besides problem image is before and after. This is working really well. I know what you're thinking. Doesn't that get banned? I heard that my ad account's getting... No. If you're doing weight loss, there is a chance. If you're doing other products, like in this case, it's hair color. In this case, it's getting rid of, I believe that's psoriasis, little spots. This is not going to get you banned. This is a very compliant image style that works very well. So showing the before and after of what you're going to look like after you use our product. And this one, you can have the longer style ad copy or you can have a shorter one. Really doesn't matter. It's just getting that image right. And you can make these inside of any like AI image generator, ChatGPT, Zora, et cetera, et cetera. But now, final thing. If you made it this far, again, make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe down below. You have the attention span of a god. Most people do not make it this far. Comment Pookie down below if you made it this far, by the way, kitten. I love calling people kitten. I think it's great. Especially if it's like a girl and you're like, really don't know them that well. Just like, all right, kitten. Yeah, why don't you give me another beer? Just be condescending. I don't know. That's my kind of flirting. I love bullying women. Anyways, so imagine you were selling this Bleem crystal hair eraser and we are trying to make ads that are video style to make it work. So obviously with this video right here, and the main thing is that you can get everything right on your video ad. Like you can have the exact angle that people really are worried about. You can have all the right clips. You can have all the right copy. You can have the right music, the right editing. Everything can actually be perfect with your video ad. And it could still perform like shit. The reason why is the same reason we talked about with your product page. If you don't get the hook right, if this doesn't captivate, if it doesn't create enough curiosity, people are not going to watch the rest of your ad. And all of the effort, the 95% of effort that you put to making the rest of the ad goes to waste. So you need to emphasize and focus on the things that make the biggest difference and that the most amount of people are going to see, which is writing your hook. So if I was marketing this Bleem crystal hair eraser, I want to think of one specific person that I am marketing to. So this could be a busy woman who's rushing out the door. She doesn't have a lot of time to shave with regular razors. She doesn't have the money to do laser therapy or it's just too painful for her. So I want to specifically know everything about her. So armpit shaving is rush. She has to rush out the door. She gets irritation. She gets razor burn. This is what she's dealing with. And she just desires having armpit shaving that just lasts longer so she doesn't have to think about it. She doesn't have to worry about irritation, all those little nicks and knacks. So with all that in mind, once you know the specific person you're trying to talk to, here's 4 formats that if you consistently test with your video ads, usually one of them is going to work. So there's problem hooks, benefit hooks, question, and contradiction. I love contradiction, by the way. So problem hooks, you're just calling out the problem directly. That is a great way. So the real reason your armpit razor burns, but your leg razor doesn't is blank. Benefits, here's what you want. I've spent $1,000 testing different razors and shaving solutions to finally find the best thing to like get a desire. So that's a very common hook of I've spent X amount to get a desire. You can do how to get desire without pain point is another common one. Here's how I get silky smooth armpits without razor burns. So there's a lot of different formats where if you study hooks on Callow data, if you study hooks from the best brands using Atria, you'll notice hook formats and they pretty much all blend into one of these 4 categories. Now, question hook, usually this is either the problem or the benefit. So do you want to get a certain benefit or do you have certain problem? So what if you never had to worry about armpit stubble ever again? That's going to create curiosity. That's going to get me intrigued if that is my specific problem. Contradiction. Everything you know about shaving your armpits is completely wrong. Or you don't need to buy razors. You don't need to constantly go through razor after razor to get your armpits like spotless, et cetera, et cetera. So it's creating that contradiction that makes them intrigued to watch the rest of the ad to know what's the new solution. So again, boys, These two fixes are what helped me scale my boy Ivo from zero to over $200,000 a month with his dropshipping brand as a complete beginner. So if you want to get results like that and so many other of my one-on-one students, in fact, we have a wins channel where every single week we are getting new results from students that are going from $0 to $1,000 a day. So if that is you, if you're currently at $0 and you want to scale to over $1,000 a day or 100K like Vij right here, then all you have to do, click that first link in the description down below. It is a fully hybrid program where you get a one-on-one coach that's going to give you feedback on everything you're doing wrong. Plus, you get access to all of my resources, bada bing, bada boom, for ads, for websites that will just speed up the process so you can get your first winning product and scale from $0 to $1,000 a day as soon as possible. And we guarantee it, or we keep coaching you for free. So if you want to work with me, first link in the description down below, and I hope to be working with you soon.